From the Frederick Keys to the Flying Cows, from college courts to Friday night lights, and from the big leagues of local sports to the little leagues where it all begins. This is Frederick Sports, hosted by longtime broadcaster and sports executive John Hunt, bringing over 40 years of play-by-play, insight, and local sports experience to the mic. Frederick Sports starts now.
We made it to the middle of the week. It is now Wednesday, which means 2 more days till the weekend. And for teachers, that means you're going back to school tomorrow. Sorry to hear that for y'all, but, you had a nice summer, I hope, and you're ready to go. We are in Studio 401. My name is John Hunt, and you have found your way to Frederick Sports on the Everything Frederick Live Network, and so many different podcasts we talk about in each and every day, but it's crazy. There's 15 different styled podcasts. I mean, everybody has their own subject matter. They have their own style. They have their own way of doing things, which makes each one of them interesting in their own way. Everything from healing yourself and learning mindfulness to learning what it's like, the mental health of fire and police people. There's just a little bit of everything. You have Good Morning Frederick, which tells you Monday through Friday, all the things going on around town and the news and updates for, anything, whether it's politics inside the town of Frederick or it's nonprofits and things like that. They've got events coming up. Small businesses. It's the same kind of thing we do at John's house. Also, in the morning, their show is at 9. That's Danny and AJ and their crew. Good Morning Frederick. And then John's house comes your way at 10. And again, so many different podcasts throughout the Everything Frederick Live Network. You should check them all out. It's pretty easy. If you are watching this one on Facebook or YouTube, you can go to YouTube, look up the Everything Frederick Live Network, and then there are going to be a ton of different podcasts. You can go back as far as those podcasts went and search for all the different ones. If you have a particular subject you're interested in, you can check that out as well. And then here on Frederick Sports, we've had a great time interviewing everybody from Slater, who's the general manager of the Frederick Keys and the broadcaster, the general manager of the Flying Cows. And I'm telling you, we've had Oakdale girls coaches for flag football. So many different things on the show. Card collectors. I mean, anything that has to do with sports. You want to be part of it? You want to join me on the show? I'd love to have you. It's pretty easy. You can hit me up directly at rockthewave13@gmail.com. That's rockthewave13@gmail.com. Let me let you know some stuff that we're doing over the next couple of weeks before we get into the sports. First and foremost, next Tuesday, we're going to have Frederick Feud coming your way. Two great hosts. Yes, also that, but two great sponsors. The host, of course, Danny and AJ. Frederick Feud brought to you by your friends at Middletown Valley Bank. And then, of course, your friends at Ken's Transmission with total car care at kenstrans.com. And then a week from tonight, it's the 35th anniversary of Point Break. And I just checked, by the way, there are only 7 seats left. There are only 7 seats in the regular seating area and 2, I believe, in the back row, which is handicap accessible. And that's all. So if you want to buy your tickets in advance, that's great. You better grab them up while you can, because I'm expecting them to be gone by the time we get to the weekend. There are a few singles. If you want to go by yourself, there are a few individual tickets that you can grab as well. You can also win them You get an opportunity to get a big grand prize, which we're going to give away that night. I mean, there's so much going on. So again, grab your tickets while you can. We will be out there. If you dress, we're going to give everybody a scratch-off ticket who dresses in beach attire. This is the ultimate chill. If you're going to take somebody on a date, ultimate chill date. Okay? And however comfortable you are, this isn't a contest. So however comfortable you are in beach attire, if you're comfortable wearing a banana hammock, guys, that's up to you. I don't know that I want to see it, but, that's your thing. No matter what it is that you're comfortable in, as long as it's beach attire, we'll hook you up with a Maryland Lottery scratch-off ticket. Plus, we're going to throw some T-shirts into the crowd and some other goodies. We have a Hawaiian basket, which is going to be a big prize. And the grand prize winner will also get not only your tickets to the movie, but a $25 gift card for food. And the cool thing about that is Wednesday nights, the tickets are only $8 for the movie ticket and even the highest priced food. So if you want the Korean barbecue chicken, or you want the Krabby fries, or the crab rangoon, I hope they still have all of these things because they're some of my favorite stuff, or the crab rangoon pizza, delish. All just $8. Normally, I think they're $15 or $16 when you go to the theater. But Wednesdays, it's $8 Wednesday. So not only are we bringing you a fun night, it's a fun and inexpensive night, which is always the best way to go. Yes, I know it's the first day of school, but not everybody has kids. And even if you do, the movie's only 2 hours, starts at 7. You should be home in enough time. Remember, it is rated R. There is some violence, some nudity, but nothing too crazy. All right, nothing that, certainly less than you'd see in a John Wick movie if you're into Keanu Reeves. And it's fun. It'll just take you back 35 years since the original Point Break. And the original Point Break, if you haven't seen that one, you saw the remake, you got to watch the original. So much better than the remake was. So many goodies, so much fun. And that's 2 nights in a row. You get to do fun stuff with the Everything Frederick Live Network. All right. We were planning on having a guest. She's not in as of yet. That doesn't mean she's not going to show up. So we're going to get into sports here today. The Orioles last night, the Orioles got a victory last night against Minnesota, and they're playing again today. Yeah, they've got a day game. The Orioles are down in the 7th inning. Don't put the score up. We got in trouble for that the last time, the live score. I'll try to get you an update before the end of the show. They were down 7-4 in the 7th. Shane Baz started for the Orioles. By the way, last night, the hitters went a little crazy. And starting pitching, Brandon Young, he's now 9-3 on the season. 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 run, 4 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Alonso and Carcion Strand and Henderson all hit home runs. And by the way, Alonso and Carcion Strand had 3 hits and a home run. So they all had good nights for the Orioles last night. Now, the Orioles are now 2 games before today's game, 2 games out of the wild card spot. And there are so many teams this year. It's crazy how many teams are fighting for playoff spots and how many teams are not officially close to being eliminated. It makes it a lot more fun for a lot more different teams all over the country. Right now in the American League, you've got Texas, Boston, the Yankees, Detroit, the Minnesota Twins, Cleveland, Toronto, and Seattle, all fighting for wild card spots. And I said Boston and the Yankees fighting for a wild card spot, not winning the division, as Tampa Bay is actually winning the American League East. So there you have it. In the National League, the Cubs beat the Nationals last night, 8-6. Abrams and Young home runs for the Nationals. Brady House had 3 hits for Washington last night. Tonight they go at 6:45. The Cubs will send Jackson Peterson to the hill. The Nationals will send left-handed pitcher Jackson Kent, not Roy Kent from Ted Lasso, but he's Jackson Kent, a young pitcher. They don't even have his picture up, his picture of the pitcher up. So that shows you how new he is to the team, because the social media people and the people that handle all of that stuff are usually right on top of it, even if it's in another team's ball cap. But yeah, the Nationals are now 5 games out of the wild card spot. But again, there's a lot of teams fighting for those spots with about 50 games left in the regular season. The Nationals are battling with St. Louis, Miami, San Diego, Arizona, Philadelphia, and the Cubs for the 2 wild card spots. And let's see, we'll do all pro stuff first, major league stuff. The NFL Friday, the official week 1. I know they had the All-Star game. I don't even count that one. That's everybody. That's the bottom end of the rotation. Most of those guys are going to end up getting cut by the time we get to the regular season. But Friday, one of 3 exhibition games, again, down from 4. Miami at Washington at 7 o'clock. And then Saturday, Philadelphia plays Baltimore at 7 o'clock also in Baltimore. So those 2 games, you get 2 home games in the week 1 of the exhibition season. We don't get any home games in the first 2 weeks of the regular season for Washington or Baltimore. So we got to wait till week 3 till we get a home game in the regular season. But we're looking for exciting things. I know Tunsil got hurt, messing up the offensive line a little bit, but somebody, they always say next man up, next person to step up. So hopefully they can find that person. And you know what will happen too during training camp? Guys will get cut. There might be a guy that is, a big salary hit on a team, and they have a young guy that maybe, can step up and do the job for less money. So, some of those guys are going to become available during training camp as well. So, Washington will watch out and figure out what they need to do to get that problem taken care of, because that's a guy you don't want missing. That offensive lineman covers the backside of the Washington quarterback. You don't want, the backside of the quarterback, his blind side, you need to be 100% sure is protected. All right, let's see here. What else do we have going on in professional? By the way, I do want to mention one thing. My good friend and the former coach when I was the general manager in Wilmington, the Wilmington Sharks in the collegiate CPL, Coastal Plain League, one of the biggest college leagues. Congratulations. Year 1, the year that I was the general manager there, we kind of started a little bit of a winning tradition. And Gus is kind of the leader of that, or I should say Russ is the leader of that, because we came 1 strike away from winning a championship. And now 3 of the last 4 years, the Wilmington Sharks have won the CPL championship. It just happened last night. They beat a team with a fun name in the CPL, the Macon Bacon. That is the name of the team. That is not a alternative identity team. That is the full-time name of the team, the Macon Bacon. Got beat by the Wilmington Sharks. The Shark, they were picking on the Sharks saying, oh, we're going to make sushi out of the Sharks. Well, the Sharks are eating the bacon today, and they took it all the way home to the championship. So congratulations to my good friend Russ Burrows, Coastal Plain League champion 3 out of the last 4 years. And, we're still watching from far away. Great job done by him. And this week, or not this weekend, next weekend, I almost forgot. I really did. I looked in my email today and I'm like, oh, yeah, we have a race coming up in D.C. It's the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. All of D.C. is going to be changed, or at least the area around the White House and the Washington Monument and the mall area is going to be turned into a Formula One track. There will be a Formula One. If you don't know about it, it's really cool looking. And you got your tickets free, but you had to go into a lottery. So I was lucky enough to get some tickets. And we will be reporting from D.C. Saturday and Sunday, August 22nd and 23rd. It's the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. Now, you can walk up and stand on the streets that it's available on, but there are areas, the Stars area and the Stripes area. My tickets are in the Stars area. I don't know what that means until I get there. I've seen it on a map, but it will be a good view to watching the Formula One racers get around. And I have seen a few Formula One races, always a lot of fun as well. NASCAR is fun too. It is very fun live. It's a lot more fun live than watching it on TV, kind of like hockey is. So, if you've seen a Formula One race or a NASCAR race, you're like, oh, they're just going around in circles, another left turn, another left, that's one thing. But to see it live, yeah. And when you go to a NASCAR race, it is, or drag race. No, not the kind in San Francisco. I'm talking about, like Maryland International Raceway or in Budds Creek. It's the smell of the rubber. It is the smell of the gasoline. It's loud. I did 2 summers in the press box at MIR in Budds Creek, and it was a great time. You know, it doesn't pay much, but it was a lot of fun. And I made some really good friends, some of which still, one of them is still the stage sponsor, and he brings bands in there, and he has his own band. He brings them in on a regular basis. I have not got a chance to go down there this summer because it's been a busy year. But, you know, again, there's nothing like being at a race live. Again, watching it on television. You know, the NFL to me is different. I would rather watch a game on TV because you get all the replays and everything else. You don't get the atmosphere, you know, of watching an NFL game live. But everything else is cooler watching it on television with the NFL. It's not that way, again, with racing, with hockey, with soccer. Those are all things that are more fun to watch live. And as much as I like baseball, you know, on some games, depending on who you're watching, you can still take a nap during a baseball game. You know, watching golf on TV, you definitely can take a nap. No problem with those things. Even if you're a golf fan, you probably still fall asleep on the couch on a Sunday after you cut the grass and you did all the other stuff over the weekend. So there you go. All right, we're going to come back with all the things going on right in our region, all the minor league sports, the Keys, the Bay Sox, the Boxcars, and more in just a couple minutes. I'm John Hunt, and you're watching Frederick Sports.
Hot Fired Arts is Frederick's handmade, locally owned art studio where creativity meets community. Since 2016, they've offered hands-on art experiences for all ages, from pottery and fused glass to wet clay and canvas painting. Whether you're looking for a fun family outing, a date night, or a creative outlet, they make art accessible and enjoyable for all skill levels. Stop by and see them today in the Fairview Shopping Center on 7th Street, Frederick, or visit them online at hotfiredarts.com.
Frederick, if you're craving real Chicago-style flavor, Rosati's is bringing it. From their cheesy, loaded deep dish pizza to crispy tavern-style thin crust, every bite is packed with that classic Rosati's taste. And don't sleep on the steak and cheese sub. Hot, hearty, and seriously satisfying. Rosati's has been serving family recipes since 1964, and now you can get it right here in Frederick. Stop by 911 West 7th Street or order online at rosatispizza.com. Rosati's, keeping it real since 1964.
Sponsored by Atlas Wood Floors, serving the area for more than 34 years. Wood floors, luxury vinyl plank. Anything that you put on your floor, they can handle it. Check out their Google reviews and give them a call today, 301-948-9663. That's 301-948. Wood. Be sure to ask for Jeff Koger or go to atlaswoodfloors.net.
All right. That ends abruptly and it comes right back to me. And then we're back on the camera and ready to do Frederick Sports. Again, don't forget all the cool stuff coming up. Keep following everything we're doing on Everything Frederick Live Network. Like and subscribe below. And if you would like to be part of the show, I'm more than happy to have you on. We have 2 seats, one on either side of me. And we'd love to have you sitting behind the big table here in Studio 401. It's really easy. Just hit me up directly at rockthewave13@gmail.com. All right, the Frederick Keys are back home. Unfortunately, they didn't get a win last night. They're playing they're a really good team. I mean, they're leading the division in the first. They won the first half. They're in the playoffs. They're leading the division in the second half. So the Keys, despite all the changes, despite the trades, the guys moving up to higher levels of baseball, the Keys are continuing to play well, which, as Gus Balo, their broadcaster who was on the show with me yesterday, and I talked about, that is a tribute to really good coaching at the A-ball level. You know, they call it high A-ball. Delmarva would be called low A or rookie ball. So the Keys are really, really coaching these guys up and getting them to the next level, because when they get there, when they get to Bowie, when they get to Tidewater, or Norfolk now, it used to be called Tidewater. When they get to those teams, they're continuing to play well, even a little bit better than they did when they were here in Frederick, which is a good thing for the Orioles' future. The Orioles' current, we got to worry about that a little bit. We still have some work to do to get in the playoffs. Once you get in, anything can happen. It comes down to coaching and good pitching rotation at that time and, everything falling into place. But we have the opportunity, as I've said a couple of times, to have the Orioles and the Nationals, maybe not so much, but they could. They're still in the running. The Keys, Chesapeake Bay Sox, and Hagerstown Flying Boxcars all in the playoffs. Wouldn't that be something? That would be pretty awesome. All right. Speaking of the Keys, we'll tell you a little bit about what is going on the rest of the series. Tonight is game 2 of the 6-game series. This could be the South Atlantic League Championship you're looking at in advance. So that would be round 2 of the playoffs. There's really a 3-game set in September to start the playoffs. And then the winner of that will go to the championship. And again, with Bowling Green playing in the other division, it could very well. Bowling Green has had a great season as well. Maybe one of the best in South Atlantic League history. They're playing great ball. And they are here in our house, so you can go see them and go see all the guys before anybody else gets moved up to the higher levels of baseball. And then you can say, well, I saw Vihivo Aloy, playing. I saw Ike Irish. I saw, Figueroa. You see these guys moving up to the higher levels of baseball, and you can say, yeah, I remember when they were playing A-ball and they were talking to all the kids, before they become major leaguers. Hopefully they still do that when they get up there. All right. The rest of the 6-game series, again, remember, playoff tickets are on sale at the Keys website. And the playoffs, by the way, will be September 8th on the road, and then September 10th at home, and if needed, September 11th. So if they win September 8th and September 10th, they won't have to play on the 11th. But if it does go to a 3-game series, games 2 and 3 on September 10th and 11th are at home. Those tickets are on sale on the Keys website. This is WAG Wednesday. It's also Guaranteed Win Wednesday. So if you go to the Keys game tonight and they don't find a way to win, you get free tickets to a future game. You do have to use them on a Monday through Thursday non-fireworks game before the season's out. And they're only, after this series is over, there's only 6 games at home left. So you have a little bit of time to use those tickets, but let's just have the Keys win and you don't have to worry about that, right? Unless you're looking for the extra night to get out with a freebie ticket. Friday is Art in the Park. And this is kind of cool for the kids. The kids get to paint a bobblehead. They give the kids just a fired bobblehead like you would see at Hot Fired Arts. And the kids will sit at a table with a bunch of other kids having a good time, making a mess, and painting the bobblehead. I think that's kind of a cool giveaway for Art in the Park on Friday night. So that should be fun. Saturday is Faith Night with Darryl Strawberry, the former Yankee and Met. He won a few World Series, but he did have struggles as a major league player. And he will talk about them and kind of give his testimony of how he's turned his life around and helped start a couple of churches and some other good things that he has done since finding his way over the last 10 years or so. So good for Darryl Strawberry, and it'll be fun to see him out here. There are, according to Gus, yesterday he told us there are still a few tickets available for the meet and greet. Again, go to the Frederick Keys website to get all the details and to grab up those tickets. And what else am I missing here? Oh, yeah, Sunday is Sunday Fun Day for the kids. There's always something fun. All the players, or a lot of the players, I don't know if maybe not the starting pitcher and a couple of other starters that may need some extra work, they will be lined up in the concourse for you to get autographs. They'll sign pretty much whatever you bring up there. So whether you're bringing baseball cards or a ball or a hat, or a jersey, any of those things, they'll hook you up. They'll take pictures with you, all that fun stuff as well, right there on the concourse. So that's Sunday Fun Day. They go on the road to Wilmington for 7 games in 6 days. And then they will come home for the final series of the year against, let me see, who do they have? They have Asheville, North Carolina. And those guys will cut it down to the final games. Asheville still battling as well. All right, let's get to the Chesapeake Bay Sox. They are now 5 games behind Erie. However, they are in second. Nobody else ahead of them between second and first. They do need some help. Erie needs to lose a few games in the second half of the Bay Sox to make the playoffs. And they do not play Erie anymore for the rest of the season. But again, they are still in striking distance. I think it's about 24, 25 games left in the regular season. They're 5 games behind Erie. I've seen greater things happen. They lost to Reading last night by the score of 9-5. Game 2 of the series is in Pennsylvania tonight. Next week, they'll return home Tuesday, August 18th versus Richmond. And Richmond won the first half title. Chesapeake trying to get them in the playoffs starting in September. So there you go. Last night in Hagerstown was rained out at Charleston. They were on the road against the Charleston Dirty Birds. They got rained out. They'll play a doubleheader tomorrow night. They will play tonight against the Dirty Birds in Charleston. They are 54-42, 12 games over 500 on the season. And again, they won the first half title. So they have the opportunity. They will be in the playoffs. We already know that. If they could continue to roll a little, get it heated up just a little bit, they could end up winning the second half title. Right now, it looks like York and Long Island battling for that spot for the second half title to see who gets to play Hagerstown with home field advantage going to the Flying Boxcars. All right, there you have it. That's pretty much everything that is going on around the region. Want to thank James, who has been with us as one of our interns throughout the course of the summer. He's got to go back to school, so we will lose him as an intern, but thank you for all your hard work, and we appreciate you coming in and learning the ropes. A rookie, I remember when I was a 15-year-old rookie DJ, so I've been in your chair, and, you can take this as far as you want to. So thank you very much for being part of what we do here at the Everything Frederick Live Network in Studio 401. We will come back tomorrow for John's House, 10 a.m., and then back again tomorrow afternoon at 4 for Frederick Sports, and always something going on around the region. So again, pass it to your friends, like and subscribe below, check out all the other podcasts on the Everything Frederick Live Network. And remember, if you'd like to be part of the show, if you'd like to be a sponsor, I've been talking to a lot of people who are interested and excited about what we're doing with the Everything Frederick Live Network. You want to add your name to that list? I can come out and see you. All you need to do is hit me up directly at rockthewave13@gmail.com. Remember, you are what you watch and you listen to. So thank you very much for watching and listening to us. My name is John Hunt, and this has been Frederick Sports.
Thanks for watching Frederick Sports with John Hunt. From the pros to the colleges, the high schools, and the youth leagues that make Frederick Sports special, we're here to tell the stories behind the games, the teams, and the people who make it all happen. Make sure to like, share, and comment, and join us again next time for more Frederick Sports.
This episode is a proud production of the Everything Frederick Live Podcast Network, your home for Frederick's best podcasts, streaming daily on YouTube.